These numbers will blow your mind. 250 biotech companies, 25,000 jobs, and 818 new housing units. But what's coming to South San Francisco in 2025 is even bigger. I've been living and selling real estate here for the last 13 years, and I've never seen changes like this. Today, I'll show you all the massive changes coming to South San Francisco in 2025. What do these developments mean for property values, and why do you need to pay attention right now? There are a lot of things happening next year in South San Francisco, but let's start with one big transformation happening at Orange Memorial Park. This massive construction site you see here will become a state-of-the-art $49 million aquatic center opening in 2025. I know what you're thinking, it's just a pool, right? We're talking about a 24,000 square foot facility that will completely change how families spend time in this area, and actually they might want to come to South San Francisco to utilize the pool. Instead of an old, overly crowded pool from the 1970s, we're getting two separate pools. A competition-grade 25-yard lap pool, and also a dedicated warm water pool for lessons, recreation, and potentially for families and kids. What makes this project even more impressive is how thoughtfully it's been planned. The city is building this new facility right next to the existing pool, so all of the current swimming programs can keep running during construction, meaning zero disruption for the hundreds of families who rely on these programs. But is the warm water pool really going to be a game changer for families in a community? Whether you're a parent with young kids learning to swim or someone doing water therapy, having a dedicated warm water pool means no more fighting for space with lap swimmers or dealing with the cold water. They're also adding features never before in South San Francisco: a proper swimmer's lounge, modern locker rooms, and multiple party rooms so you can rent out for events. What's really interesting is how the city is timing this with all of the other developments happening nearby. With the Biotech Expansion bringing thousands of new jobs and families, which I'll get into in a minute, having a world-class aquatic center will be crucial for the community to get together. The project team has already finished all of the planning and the design work, and the construction has kicked off in 2024. You can see all the foundation work happening right now, and the structural elements are starting to take shape. They're right on schedule for that 2025 opening. And if you've been to any of our company picnics before, this is right next to the Centennial Way Dog Park and also the shelter area that we've hosted a lot of back to school events and also Easter picnic. And if you're wondering where exactly this is, it's right next to the new baseball field, right behind where the Centennial Way Trail and also Dog Park is. And if you've been to one of our company picnics before, whether it's the Easter picnic or the fall back to school picnic, sometimes we've held it at the Orange Memorial Park shelter, which is a couple steps away from where this new location of the pool is. One thing that really stands out is the scale of this investment. We're talking $49 million is a serious commitment to the community's infrastructure. They're using funds from Measure W, which shows how much local support there was for this kind of development. The new facility is also being built with sustainability in mind. They're incorporating energy efficient systems for heating the pools and modern filtration technology that will use less water and chemicals than the older pool. For the families living nearby, this is going to be an incredible amenity. Instead of driving to other cities for quality aquatic programs and also other city pools, they'll also have access to a modern facility right in their neighborhood. The old pool was so overcrowded and so many programs had wait lists, and that won't happen anymore and won't be an issue because there's now double the pool size with the new pool. Looking at the renderings, they're clearly aiming for something special here. The architecture is modern and welcoming, and lots of natural light and open spaces are going to exist. It's designed to be both functional for serious swimmers and inviting for families looking to spend time in an afternoon or for a lesson. And really, this is understated. The location couldn't be better. Orange Memorial Park is already a hub for recreation in South San Francisco with playgrounds, sports fields, and also walking paths. Adding this aquatic center will make it even more complete of a destination for the community, especially if you want to go to downtown as well, given it's only a walk away. Next up, in my opinion, we have the biggest game changer coming to South San Francisco, happening right at Oyster Point. If you haven't heard, Archer Aviation is building what they're calling a vertiport, Basically an air taxi terminal that will completely transform how we think about commuting to South San Francisco and also the rest of the Bay Area. This isn't something far off from just a concept. Archer has received their FAA certification to operate commercially, and they're planning to launch these electric air taxis by the end of 2025. We're talking about cutting a 90-minute commute down to just 10 to 15 minutes of flight time. And what about the aircraft they're planning on using? It's called the Midnight. It's pretty impressive. It's an electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle that can carry 4 passengers plus the pilot. What's really interesting is that it's designed to recharge in just a few minutes between flights, making it perfect for frequent trips throughout the day. From the vertiport at Oyster Point in South City, you'll also be able to catch flights to Napa, San Jose, Oakland, and Livermore. Think about this. Instead of sitting in traffic for hours in your car, paying attention to the road, trying to get to wine country, you could be there in 15 minutes and not worry about needing to stay sober. What makes this even more exciting is where they're building it. Oyster Point is already a major biotech hub with 4 million square feet of office space. Adding an air taxi service here isn't just convenient, but it also will make South San Francisco even more attractive for companies looking to relocate or expand. They're not just stopping at air travel either. The project includes plans for what they're calling a sea portal, a waterfront hub that will combine the air taxi service with electric ferry operations. It will be powered by renewable energy, which fits perfectly with South San Francisco's commitment to sustainability. For property owners in South San Francisco, this is massive. Having a transportation hub like this, especially one that connects directly to other Bay Area locations, will have a significant impact on property values. Just look at what happened to the areas around the BART stations when they officially opened first. Price-wise, Archer is saying they want to make this competitive with ground transportation services like Uber and Lyft. It's pretty ambitious, but if they can pull it off, it could be a revolutionary way people get around the Bay Area. The technology behind this is fascinating. The Midnight aircraft has been designed with multiple redundant systems for safety, and it's supposed to be much quieter than traditional helicopters. They have already completed hundreds of test flights and received their Part 135 certification from the FAA. One of only 2 companies worldwide actually achieved this feat. This vertiport isn't going to be some bare-bones transportation facility either. The renderings show a modern, architecturally impressive structure that will complement the existing development at Oyster Point. It's designed to handle multiple aircraft simultaneously and process passengers quickly to get to your destinations. What's particularly exciting about how this fits into South San Francisco's broader transformation? Between this and the Biotech Expansion that we will talk about in a little bit, and a new aquatic center, we're seeing pieces come together for what will be one of the most dynamic cities in the Bay Area. Now, for companies considering a move in South San Francisco, having access to rapid air transportation to other major hubs like San Jose and Oakland will be a major selling point for companies potentially to move here. It's already attracting a lot of attention from companies looking to expand for plans in 2025 and beyond. And before going any further, I want you to tell me in the comments below if there are any massive changes you want a whole video about, and which ones you're most excited for. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button and get brand new videos with everything you need to know about living here in San Mateo County. All right, so let's talk about the massive biotech expansion we're seeing in South City, and as we know, in all of San Mateo County. Right here is part of a massive $3.5 million square foot biotech space currently under construction. And that's just the beginning. We already have over 250 biotech companies here, but by 2035, we're looking at doubling the total space dedicated to life sciences right here in South San Francisco. What's really incredible is how this growth is transforming our city here. Just last month, we saw the completion of phase 1 of the South Line campus. That's a 3 million square foot development right in the heart of the biotech corridor. And there's more coming. With South City Ventures' 213,000 square foot building and Health Peak's 130,000 square foot facility both set to open before the end of 2024. Looking at the numbers, it's amazing to see how far we've come since Genentech first started here in 1976. Today, we're not just talking about a few research labs. We're looking at 12 million square feet of biotech space that already is active and thriving. Companies like Merck, Pfizer, Astellas, and Verily have all made South San Francisco their home. What makes this growth even more exciting is the type of research happening right here in our backyards. About 61% of our biotech companies are focused on biopharmaceutical R&D. We're talking about cutting-edge work in vaccines, gene therapies, and next-generation medical treatments. The city has been incredibly smart about planning for this expansion, and they've also invested over $300 million in infrastructure improvements, everything from street upgrades to water quality systems. When you're dealing with world-class research facilities, you need world-class infrastructure to support them, and South San Francisco really has made that happen. What's particularly exciting about our real estate market is the talent these companies are attracting. We're pulling top researchers and scientists from Stanford, UC Berkeley, UCSF, and many other institutions. These are high-paying jobs, and these professionals are looking for quality housing in our community. The impact on property values has been significant. When you have companies investing billions in permanent research facilities, it creates a ripple effect throughout the entire real estate market. We're seeing increased demand not just for luxury housing, but for all property types and all residential properties near the biotech hubs. One thing really sets South San Francisco apart is how we're blending high tech with biotech. Companies here aren't doing traditional pharmaceutical research. They're incorporating artificial intelligence, data analysis, and digital health technology. This convergence is creating even more opportunities for growth for all other industries. The location is another huge factor driving this expansion. We're less than 10 minutes from SFO, 15 miles from San Francisco downtown, and just a half-hour away from Stanford. This perfect positioning, combined with our established biotech ecosystem, is why companies keep choosing South San Francisco for their major facilities. The development isn't slowing down either. There are already plans for several new projects in the pipeline. We're seeing proposals for everything from traditional lab spaces to mixed-use developments that will include research facilities, office spaces, and amenities for thousands of employees working in these areas. The city is working closely with local universities and community colleges to build up workforce pipelines. They understand that sustainable growth means having a steady stream of talented professionals ready to work in these facilities as well. For homeowners and investors in South San Francisco, this continued expansion of our biotech sector means long-term stability. These aren't companies that can easily pick up and move. They're investing in sophisticated facilities with specialized infrastructure. That kind of permanent investment is exactly what drives sustainable property value growth. Now, I'm really excited to share and show you all the transportation improvements, but first let's talk about the housing expansion happening in South San Francisco, which is really incredible. We're looking at 818 new housing units either completed or under construction, and that's just the beginning. Let me take you through what's really happening to our housing market right now. One of the biggest developments I'm excited about is the Celeste Apartments that just opened at 401 Cypress Avenue. This is a game changer with 195 units right near our Caltrain station. They've already leased about half of their units, which tells you just how much demand there is for quality housing near transit. What's really interesting about the Celeste project is how it's setting new standards for what's possible here in South San Francisco. We're talking about an 8-story complex with everything from studios to 3-bedroom units, plus amenities like a 2-story courtyard. The rents are averaging about $4,000 a month, which shows you the strong demand and what people are really paying in this market. But it's not just luxury apartments. We're seeing real progress in affordable housing as well. The Rotary Garden project will bring 80 new senior housing units to our downtown core, including dedicated units for homeless seniors. This kind of thoughtful development is exactly what our community really needs, housing for everyone. The city has been incredibly strategic about where they're allowing new housing. If you look at the downtown station area specific plan, you'll see how they're focusing on transit-oriented development. This means residents can walk into Caltrain, BART, or hop on Samtrans, making it possible to live here without depending on a car. I'm particularly excited about what's happening in Lindenville. The city is transforming this former industrial area into a vibrant residential neighborhood. Lindenville Area Specific Plan is thoughtfully integrated with new housing, preserving some of the existing commercial uses that make this area already unique. What's really important to understand is about the expansion and how it fits with our job market growth. With all the biotech expansion we're seeing, these new housing developments are crucial for maintaining a balance. We need places for these workers to live that are close to where they work. The city has also been smart about reducing barriers to development. They've implemented form-based codes and objective design standards that make it clearer and faster for developers to get projects approved. This is helping us create housing more efficiently while still maintaining high standards that we don't really see across every city here in the peninsula. Looking at the numbers, we're seeing a real mix of housing types, from high-density apartment buildings to small infill projects. South San Francisco is working to create options at different price points for everyone. The median home prices here in South City are still more affordable than San Francisco up north, which is attracting a lot of buyers looking for value. What's particularly promising is the city's commitment to affordable housing. With new commercial developments paying community benefit fees that go towards affordable housing, we're building a sustainable way to fund these crucial projects that I can't say every city here is actually doing. For property owners, this housing expansion is actually great news. More housing means more stability in the market, and the quality of these new developments is helping raise property values across the board, especially when resale units are limited in availability. We're seeing particularly strong appreciation in areas near these new transit-oriented developments, but also on the west side of town where it's strictly residential. The city's goal is to double our housing capacity by 2035, which really is ambitious. But based on what I'm seeing the city do and on the ground, we're well on our way. Between the projects already under construction and those in the pipeline, South San Francisco is showing how a city can grow thoughtfully while maintaining its character. I know there's differences amongst current residents, but also we should be prioritizing making sure that we're an inviting city that has infrastructure to accommodate more people. Now let me show you one of the biggest changes happening in South San Francisco's transportation system. First, we have the free shuttle service, which is completely transforming how people get around our city. It's connecting our residential neighborhoods directly to the biotech cluster east of Highway 101. And it's just the beginning for our transportation revolution. What's really exciting is how these transportation improvements are supporting our incredible job growth. With over 25,000 people working at about 250 biotech companies, we needed to find better ways to move people around. This shuttle service isn't just about the convenience it offers. It's about making job opportunities accessible to everyone in our community, whether they have a car or not. The city has been incredibly smart about integrating different types of transit. You've got this free shuttle connecting both Caltrain and BART stations, making it possible for residents to easily commute to anywhere in the Bay Area. But what's really game-changing is how they're linking everything together. Take the San Francisco Bay Ferry Service at Oyster Point, for example. They've created the seamless connection between the ferry terminal and our biotech hub, and then linked it with Samtrans bus routes. This means someone could literally take the ferry from Oakland, hop on a shuttle, and be at their office within minutes. Another exciting project is the Utah Avenue Overcrossing, which will create a new east-west connection across Highway 101, and it's not just for cars. They're including dedicated spaces for pedestrians and also cyclists. And there's also the active South City plan. They're converting old freight rail lines into multi-use trails and creating this network for low-stress bikeways through residential neighborhoods within the city. It's making it easier and safer for people to walk or bike to work. What's particularly smart about these improvements is how they're timing everything with our housing expansion. With 818 new housing units coming online, these transportation upgrades ensure new residents can easily get around without needing to go through traffic. The city is also really innovative with their quick build demonstration projects. Instead of spending years of planning and debating, they're testing new street designs and gathering real-world feedback instantly. This lets them figure out what works and what really doesn't. Looking at the bigger picture, South San Francisco is positioning itself to take full advantage of regional transportation improvements. We will see expanded services from Caltrains, Samtrans, and WETA in the coming years, which will make our city even more connected to the rest of the Bay Area. The Connected for South San Francisco project is a perfect example of how the city is thinking about its future. They're not just building infrastructure, they're actively engaging with residents, business owners, and students to understand exactly what kinds of transportation options people really want and need. For property values, these transportation improvements are absolutely crucial. When you look at real estate trends across the Bay Area, areas with good transit connections consistently show stronger appreciation because people can actually visit without just a car. These new transportation options make South San Francisco an even more attractive place to live and work. From a sustainability perspective, these improvements will make a huge impact on reducing traffic congestion and pollution. By making it easier for people to leave their cars at home, we're creating a more environmentally friendly city while improving the quality of life for everyone. Lastly, let me show you the major upgrade to the San Francisco Bay Area ferry we will get. Looking at the ferry terminal at Oyster Point, it's amazing to think about how this transportation hub will transform over the next few years as a part of the 2050 service vision plan. For those working in our biotech hub, the ferry service has already been fantastic of an option, connecting us directly to Oakland and Alameda. But what's coming is even more exciting. The ferry system is planning to expand its routes significantly, which means more frequent service and new connections that will make commuting to South San Francisco even easier. What's particularly impressive is their commitment to going green. They've already secured over $117 million to electrify their ferry service through the Rapid Electric Emission-Free program. By the end of this year, they'll also be awarding contracts for the first 5 zero-emission electric vessels. This isn't just good for the environment, but also for commuters. The ferry system right now is already the cleanest in the country, with their entire 17-vessel fleet running on renewable diesel. 13 of these vessels meet the strictest EPA emission standards, but they're not stopping there. The vision is to transition the entire fleet to electric by 2050. For South San Francisco specifically, we're looking at additional routes being added to service. This expansion will make it even easier for people working in our biotech corridor to commute from different parts of the Bay Area. It's perfect timing for all of the job growth we're seeing in the life sciences sector. The ferry system's expansion also includes plans for more frequent services between Alameda and Oakland, which will create a better connection for South San Francisco commuters. They're thinking about the entire network and how to make transfers and connections smoother for everyone. What's really smart about this plan is how it ties into emergency preparedness. Having a robust ferry system gives us another critical transportation option if there's ever an earthquake or other emergencies that affects our bridges, BART systems, or Caltrain systems. I'm particularly excited about their new pilot service program. This means that they'll also be testing new routes and technologies before making permanent commitments, ensuring that any expansion really serves the community's needs. It's a smart, data-driven approach for growth. For property owners in South San Francisco, these ferry improvements are significant. Having reliable, clean, frequent ferry services makes our city more attractive for both residents and businesses and commuters. It's another reason why companies continue to choose South San Francisco for their operations. The timing of all this couldn't be better, with our biotech sector growing, new housing being built, and other transportation improvements happening around the city. These ferry enhancements will make and help tie everything together. It's all part of making South San Francisco more connected and accessible. When you look at successful waterfront cities around the world, they all have robust ferry systems. With this expansion plan, we're following the model and creating a world-class water transit network that will serve our community for generations to come. The best part of this is that they're not just waiting to get started. Construction contracts for the first electric ferries are being awarded this year, and we'll start seeing these improvements roll out over the next few years. It's exciting to see South San Francisco at the forefront of this transportation revolution in the Bay Area. I can't believe all of this is happening in 2025. But I've got to tell you, the development I'm most excited about is honestly all of it, because it's really going to transform our city here in South San Francisco. So if you're thinking about making a move to South San Francisco or any city around San Mateo County, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource. We know the areas inside and out, and we can help you find the perfect home that matches your specific needs. All you need to do is just email me at wilson@theownteam.com to get started, or you can call or text the number right down below in the description. And hey, before you go, if you like this video, you'll definitely want to check out my next video or the videos that we've already created to tell you more about living in San Mateo County. The cities are booming lately, and that's exactly why I'm covering the topics here. I promise you, you'll be impressed with the list of things that we're coming up with that we want to share with you. See you on the next one.